7 suspects arrested for the murder of Babita Deokaran will appear in court today. Now, they were arrested just last week, days after Deokaran was gunned down. She was a witness in a tender fraud probe. And our reporter, Masego Rahlaga, is following this story for us and joins us now to give us an update. Masego, good morning to you. What can you tell us today in terms of, the suspects that have been apprehended, we understand, in the murder of Babita Deokaran?
Well, we don't have much information from what we found out last week, Dumelo. So it's still the same information that we have so far. 7 suspects arrested 4 days after Babita Deokaran was shot and killed outside her home. She was shot several times. She was shot at several times that morning after dropping off her daughter at school outside her home in Mondio. We understand that about 4 days later, these 7 suspects were arrested. And how this arrest came about, according to the Commissioner of Police in the province, he said that it was a joint operation between the Hawks and many divisions of the SAPS, where they were told by a neighbor who had seen that same vehicle the week before, stopping there with the occupants inside the vehicle, taking pictures of Babita Deokaran's home. And that resident was smart enough or thought quickly enough and took pictures of that vehicle. So after the incident happened where she was shot and she died in hospital, that same resident contacted police and sent them those photos that he or she had taken, and that's how police were able to trace that vehicle to the owner, but waited for the suspects that they thought was linked to the murder to lead them to the owner of the vehicle. So we know that so far they've been charged with murder. We know that the allegations are that they were paid about 400,000 rand each to execute this murder. So we do know also that the police were saying that they might add more charges. They're not ruling out the possibilities that more charges will be added. And I assume that because of the fact that it looks like it was an ordered hit, it will be conspiracy to commit murder. But also what's interesting to me is that the week before, Deokaran became a whistleblower. She was a senior financial staff member in the Gauteng Department of Health, and she had been working with the special investigating unit in terms of finding out what happened to the monies in Gauteng around that PPE scandal. And so she also had testified. She implicated the Premier of Gauteng, I think, just the week before. So a week later, she's killed, and she's shot like that. So a lot of questions around, the fact that a lot of people have come to the conclusion, of course, that she might have been killed because of that affidavit she gave to the SIU and of the evidence that she had against what is believed to be businesses and political leaders that she was going to give to the SIU. But very quickly, Dumela, I know I'm running out of time, to show the importance. Every Monday, South Africa receives a letter from the President. It's called From the Desk of the President. Cyril Ramaphosa writes to South Africans every Monday, and he mentions the murder of Babita Deokaran. And if you could just let me quote some of the things that the President said in his letter. He says that it has been extremely complex undertaking to unravel the networks of influence that enables corruption. He also mentions that as these investigations progressed in terms of the Hawks and the Directorate for Public Prosecution to close the implicated individuals, we've seen witnesses being threatened, their families intimidated, being forced into hiding and even killed. And he says the murder of Babita Deokaran, a senior finance official in the Gauteng Health Department, is a stark reminder of high stakes involved in our collective quest to remove this cancer from our society. He goes on to talk about that SIU investigation and the fact that she was giving the special investigating unit very incriminating and important evidence in terms of that PPE scandal.
All right, Masego, we'll leave it there because I understand you also have to go into court right now where those 7 suspects expected to appear. Thank you so much.